You are more spirit than you are matter. And that is the main energetic cause behind burnout. Nobody ever talks about this. Everybody talks about this physical causes that might cause someone to burn out from their job or the work they do or the business they're running. But nobody talks about the energetic side of things. This part of ourselves that we can't see, but we sometimes can feel that is there. And what if there was a way to tap into universal, infinite amounts of this energy so that you no longer feel depleted, you no longer feel tired, regardless of the amount of sleep that you got, regardless of how well rested you feel or what kind of food you're eating? This goes beyond that. Because beyond your physical body, you're an energetic being. There's two other aspects to yourself that many people don't talk about. And ancient traditions, occult societies, secret societies have hidden this information from you because if you were to find out about this, and if you were to tap into these forces, you would no longer feel like your own life is holding you back. You would no longer feel like you are running, running on low gas or running on a low level of energy before you could even get to the things that you want to create in your life. This all comes down to this idea of universal life force energy, that there is an energetic system inside of you. And you have your physical body and you're able to generate energy, but it's a very limited amount of energy. It's based on the amount of food you eat, what kind of food you eat, and the air that you're breathing, how well you're actually breathing. In some Hindu traditions, they call this prana, this energy that you're breathing in. But it only generates a limited amount of this. And that's where the main problem lies, is we rely on our physical systems, we rely on our physical bodies to create that energy for us. Let me ask you, have you ever done yoga, tai chi? Have you ever done any sort of practice that allows you to relax yourself and calm your mind? And how did you feel after that? Do you think it was the exercise itself? It most definitely wasn't. It was this idea that you tapped into an energetic force outside of yourself, and that was able to recharge and replenish you. So what is this system? This system is what I call the human energy system. And you could call it more technical other things like chakras and, there's all these different terms for it. But at the base level, across all traditions and teachings, it's an energetic system within you that many of us are not conscious of. You only have a limited amount of attention without this system. And it's something that highly successful people will learn about, use, and never tell you about. So this is how it works at a basic level. You have your life center. Your life center. Your life center is basically this part of you that resides at the base of your spine. And at the base of your spine is also known as the root chakra or the sacral region. Between that area is where you tend to collect energy in this energetic system. From there, when it's been collected, think of that area as a magnet. It's pulling energy towards it, only when it's consciously activated. In some cultures, this is also known as kundalini, or the coiled serpent, that lays at the base of your spine. And this is all to explain things that our ancestors couldn't see, but they felt that they were there, that they could feel. And so when this energy is activated in a way that allows it to move, through the exercise I'll show you at the end of this video, it'll begin to move into an area called your solar plexus. This solar plexus is actually where your subconscious resides. And this is a way of actually recharging your subconscious mind and purifying it, cleansing it. And that's all for another video, but that's all to say many of us treat our subconscious minds as garbage receptacles, planting in seeds of thought that turn into weeds, not real fruit-bearing thought, if that makes any sense. But this solar plexus area radiates this energy outside and around us, which then creates sort of an energetic circuit around you, which some people even describe as an aura. Think about someone who's highly energized, who just has a certain type of glow to them, a certain type of energy to them. You could say they have a big aura, in a way. When this energy is moving through you, that's when you'll feel it begins to replenish you. And Eugene Fersen talks about a very simple exercise that you can do that activates this part of yourself. But why is it that we ignore this part of ourselves when in reality, quantum physics has shown us that you're more nothing than you are something? Quantum physicians have looked at ourselves on a molecular level, on an atomic level, and what they found is between atoms there is a bunch of empty space, 99.9% empty space to be exact. And that other 0.0001% is what they call physical matter. So a very small part of you is actually physical. When in when every day in reality, many of us think that we're these physical beings. But that's a very small aspect of ourselves. And so you could eat all the clean food and do the exercise and do everything, but you haven't opened up the energetic channels to really replenish yourself, to really tap into unlimited forms of energy outside of yourself. And this is how you see people who are in highly demanding, highly successful positions in the world, some of the top 1% performers on the planet, we wonder how they don't get burnt out. They're flying around from place to place, country to country, doing all these things every day, yet they just don't seem all that tired. They're tapping into this force, no doubt, and they'll never tell you this. So the way you want to activate this force is through Eugene Fersen's exercise. And what he basically says is in keeping your left palm up, which is the receiving side of your body, and your right palm down, while you could be laying down or sitting. You create sort of an energetic circuit in your body, opening the physical channels for this energy to flow through. But he goes one step further. He says in order to activate this part of your system, there's other levels to it. So there's also a way to speak it, a way to verbalize it with your mind, to speak it with your mind. And it goes through a simple phrase like this: I am one with the universal life force energy. It is flowing through me now. I feel it. And actually, I'm going to back up here because I actually missed a step. And it's actually the most important step that it's the reason why many of us don't have continuous contact with this energy. Our ancestors did. But because of the modern day and age we live in, the phones and everything we have around us, we cut ourselves off from this connection. And what happens is when you're doom scrolling on social media, when you're watching YouTube, when you're being distracted by the millions of things around us, this energetic system actually contracts inwards. And it could be the reason for a lot of the mental health challenges we have today, like anxiety, depression, things like that. This energetic system contracts inwards and you lose this connection. So the first thing he says is to get in a state of relaxation. When you're sitting or lying down, bring awareness as an observer. You're just observing. You're not trying to change it or make it go away, but just to bring your attention to these parts of your body that do feel tense, do feel a little bit tight, do feel like they're holding on to something, and just bring awareness. And over time, you'll find these areas kind of relax and loosen up. Now, this in of itself is incredibly powerful. If you did this, you'll find real results happening in your own energy. But another aspect to this is then to move in a state of silence, because once you've relaxed, now you've opened up these energetic channels, now you can go into a state of silence. And our monkey mind just won't shut up, right? It's just going to keep chattering, thoughts. You try to tell yourself, I'm not going to have no thoughts. And what happens? You get more thoughts come in, right? So Eckhart Tolle, actually, this comes from Eckhart Tolle. An easy way to sort of stop thinking immediately and create a state of silence is this idea to say to yourself, what's my next thought going to be? And when you say, what's my next thought going to be, now you're in a state of observing. You're an observer. You're not a participant. You're not associating every thought and feeling that you have with you, because your thoughts are not you. And when you do that, and you're in that state of silence, now you've opened up the channels. Now, whatever it is you want to do, whether it's visualization, just sit in the silence and make contact with this life force through that phrase. You want to do a visualization, all that becomes available to you because now you're fully open to receiving it. And this is something that many people won't tell you because it sounds kind of absurd. It sounds kind of strange at first. But it's something I've been doing now for over 6 months. And I've seen a radical change in my life, physically, emotionally, mentally, in all aspects. I have improved. And I'm not out there doing crazy things. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to the gym a little bit here and there. I'm meditating. Like I'm doing all the things y'all are doing probably. But what I feel is a much greater connection with a force outside of myself. And that seems to have energized me to step into a new level of performance, a new level of commitment to the things I've always wanted to create. You can get the Universal Energy Starter Guide down below. There's also another video here that's related to this one, so you can check that one out. Until next time, peace.